This is it. One of the most iconic frozen meals of all time. That's right. On this episode of Thawed Out, we're challenging Marie Callender's chicken pot pies. We already know we can make it better, but can we make them cheaper? This is Thawed Out. A singular 15-ounce Marie Callender's chicken pot pie cost me $3.69 at the grocery store. And we are once again in our B set because the A set still doesn't have heat at this time, but don't worry, we'll get back there very soon. Man, I grew up eating these pot pies, and this particular one is not helping its case. Look at how incomplete this pie crust looks. It honestly doesn't even look done. I mean, I know it's done. It was done before I even popped it into the microwave. Let's do a little shink. We made this like 20 minutes ago, and it's still steaming. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Okay. There is something that feels strangely artificial, especially about the gravy. I don't know what it is. It tastes very vegetable-y. I don't really know how to describe it. The pie crust does taste pretty decent, although it is pretty easily mushed, doesn't have a lot of texture to it. The filling is serviceable, but not all that special. You can tell how factory-made all of the insides were. It's a pretty competitive price, but I'm up to the challenge. Let's see if we can do it. Let's thaw this recipe out.
First, we start with our filling. Oil up a skillet and add half a bag of frozen peas and carrots. This just saves us some money, so spare me the fresh veggies talk. And add half a diced onion. There, a fresh item. Let them soften for a couple minutes, then toss in some flour and cook for a few more minutes. Now we add seasonings like thyme, sage, rosemary, oregano, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And stir all of that in. This stuff looking a little dry. Let's flood this with 2 cups of chicken broth. We'll let that cook and let it reduce. Once that happens, turn off the heat. We're gonna turn back to our old friend, the rotisserie chicken, to help us out with this next part. What does that mean? It means I have another series with significantly less views than this, so please go watch it, thank you. So we'll pull some meat off of the chicken and toss it into our concoction. And we'll also pour in a cup of heavy cream and mix it all together. I'm opting for puff pastry for extra mass. We'll cut the circular shapes that we need from our puff pastry, line up the inside of a pie dish, add our filling, cover it up with another circle of puff pastry, and just make sure to poke a few holes in the center for proper ventilation. And then finally, we'll brush on some egg wash, and we'll place it in a 425-degree oven for about 20-ish minutes, or whenever your pastry comes out looking like this.
Now that is a pot pie. So sadly, no, the homemade is not cheaper than the original by a decent margin, which is okay. However, I will say that if you're in a pinch and you don't mind so much, the frozen pot pie, Marie Callender's, there's a reason why this is so successful and iconic. Like, you can eat this and it's not super offensive. I don't actually remember the last time I've actually eaten a real pot pie. I think 90% of the pot pies I've ever eaten in my life were Marie Callender's. I don't even recognize this as the same food item as the Marie Callender's. Now, of course, it looks like this because we used puff pastry and not something like pie crust, but I like puff pastry more, so shut up. Let's see if we can make it sound like something. Oh yeah. And we will once again stab. Oh, look at that. This actually does have a similar vegetable taste to the other one, but this feels just more fresh in general. And it's probably just because it doesn't have a ton of preservatives in it. Thank you for watching this very puffy episode of Thawed Out. If you enjoyed this and you were inspired to make your own chicken pot pie at home, subscribe, leave a like, and hit the bell for more Thawed Out.